Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Thank you for joining me. It is review number 203, and a review of a bottling. Now that I'm not tying myself to any sort of regimen, an independent bottling. I know it's not something I tend to review an awful lot as indie bottlings, and there's a very simple reason I didn't review an awful lot of indie bottlings, and it was simply because, look, they come and they go. You know, they're here and they're gone. But you may have noticed that the way I'm going nowadays is that, so what? You know, I want to review it. This is a bottle that I want to review. You know, there's so many of them out there, and this is one of them. So what is it? Cadenheads, the independent bottler there. Cadenheads, been around quite some time. This one, a Ben Nevis 10-year-old, which has been matured in a Cabernet Franc cask, Cab Franc, which once held long row. So it was one of the long row reds, and then that cask, when that cask was emptied, there's been Ben Nevis put in there behind it. And interesting, so a very, very interesting thing. And as I said, I just wanted to review it because it's interesting. There you go. And I'm not even sure. Obviously, this would have came and went, as I said, a limited thing, but I'm not even sure how much it was limited to or how many it was limited to. Well, actually, I do. Distilled 2012, bottled spring 2023, number of bottles 270. So there you go. I do know how many it was limited to. I don't think I've ever actually read that before. So let's get in, shall we? Non-chill filter, no colour added, bottled at 55.9% ABV. So it is. I will get into, I'm going to actually read you some of the tasting notes on the bottle as well at some point, because I sort of agree with them here. Not very often I agree with the tasting notes on the bottle, but in this case, rich, fruity, floral, vegetative and meaty. Pretty much this is a 3-course meal in a glass. It's all going on. The wine finish shows up. As a matter of fact, sometimes that wine finish is the star player, but the thing to remember that it's not all been about that wine finish, because this was a wine cask that had already held whiskey. So I mean, it's a strange beast in that this isn't getting into what would be technically a first fill wine cask, because there's been whiskey already in there. So I said about the tasting notes. On the nose, they're saying glazed cherries. I would agree there. Red apples, yeah. Cigar box, not necessarily freshly cut peat. Well, freshly cut peat, no. I can tell you, as somebody who used to bag peat, there's not much of a smell of freshly cut peat. Really, peat, you know, all that smell really comes from the burning of it. But nonetheless, they've definitely hit a few notes there that I would agree on. All the red fruit notes are amazing in this. Absolutely amazing. Every now and again, that 55.9% will bite you. So be prepared to back off here or feel its wrath. I mean, 55.9%, it's not messing about. Oh, big. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big, sweet. Actually softer than you would think. Sweet and sour arrival. Softer than the nose would suggest. However, it's still big. Big. Lots going on in that already. Oh yeah, all those big, juicy red fruit notes come through into the palate. I'm convinced there's even a little hint of that long row smoke right at the back. Yeah, big, juicy cherries once again. Red apple once again. So where does the Ben Nevis play in then? Well, that I said about that hint of smoke. That could actually be the Ben Nevis. I also get, there's also honey here. There's a richness. There's a heathery sort of note. I'm going to suggest that that's the Ben Nevis. Orange peel once again. What do the tasting notes say about the palate? Ashy, orange, yep, beeswax, star anise. Yeah, I could get that. One thing I will say about this, and finish is weirdly quite short. It's weird. I remember when I was doing my tasting notes on this, I remember thinking the finish was quite long, but now I think it's quite short. That's star anise, yes, I'm getting that now. Cinnamon, yep. So there is a lot going on in the finish, but it's more of it's not hot, but I'm surprised how little memory of those red fruits, and even that I said about the honey and orange. I'm surprised how little of that hangs around. I was expecting, or would expect, a lot of that in the finish. I'm not really getting it. Creamy and sweet on the nose. That little addition of water, ever so slightly more perfumed, but it actually does, it doesn't do it any harm, that drop of water. It tones down a lot of the red wine, just blends it more. It just feels a bit more balanced with a touch of water, although it does become a little spirit forward. Woo! Yeah, cinnamon once again. Yeah, this is weird. It goes a bit drier on the palate with the addition of the water. Once again, slightly more perfumed. Chocolate orange. I don't mean chocolate and orange. I mean chocolate orange. Like the Ribot from Terry's. And once again, the finish is just a bit short, strange. I'm just reading this, the finish, they're suggesting blackberry jam, nutty, coastal note. I'm just finding it quite short. This is a lovely whiskey. Interesting, as I said. That finish, it's quite spirity. I dare not breathe in through my mouth here because I know that that's all spirit hanging around on my tongue. I can feel it. Cinnamon, yes. Cinnamon red hots I've said about before. I've used that term before. A lovely whiskey. However, a bit of a roller coaster ride once again. It's a bit up, it's a bit down. It's 55 to 65 pounds. Here, you can't be bad to that. You cannot be bad to that. It's still got an age statement on there. It's 10 years old. It's non-chill filtered, no colour added, 55.9%. It's a beast. Very much worth that price, I would suggest. Anybody got their hands on it, fair play to you. You never know, it might still be about there. I would doubt it. Yeah, that ABV just seems to sometimes be the overpowering thing. So, a great whiskey, well worth it. As I said, a little up and down. It's great, but I could easily find faults in this as well. For me, just for me, my opinion, remember. So we'll leave that at that and move on, shall we? Yeah, I do enjoy it. I definitely do enjoy this one. I did enjoy this one. I just, it's as I said, a bit of a roller coaster. So what would I suggest? Well, as an alternative, wine finishes, I say quite a bit, can come and go. Some can be good, some can be bad, some can take the worst out of a wine cask, an ex-wine cask. This works. So what would I suggest? Well, I'm going to suggest to you another one that I think very much works. These two, do you know, actually in some ways aren't dissimilar. They actually aren't dissimilar. The Lechic Sinclair series, the Rioja finish. I'm saying finish. Yeah, matured ex-bourbon casks and finished in Spanish Rioja casks, yes. 46.3% ABV, as one would expect from Distill. It's, yeah, the Rioja, that Lechic, forgetting stuff now. Old age. The Rioja cask, a really good whiskey for the price. Really good for the price. That Lechic comes in around the £30 mark. 30 to £35 mark. It's fantastic for that price, it really is. As I said, they're not terribly alike, but neither are they dissimilar in some ways. And both whiskies that I'm talking about here, both good wine finishes. It was a bit of a struggle for me to find something there to suggest to you. I will admit to that. I do like a wine finish. I have a few good wine finishes in my cabinets, but I couldn't actually lay my hands to one that I would have suggested was as good a wine finish as perhaps that Lechic. Especially whenever you look at the likes of this Ben Nevis 10 from Cadenheads. I know this will settle down. I can smell this settling down as we're chatting. The water will settle it down even more. As I said, it gets that creamy red fruit sweetness. Sort of Jolly Rancher thing. And I've no doubt that at some point I'll be tasting this and going, oh, that's such a long finish. It is just a bit up and down for me, but not on this occasion. So we will leave it there. I will say, yes, I would replace it if I could, but I can't see me ever doing so, because I would say it's probably long gone by now. I will thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching once again. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you very, very much to my patrons. Should anybody wish to join that group, the details are in the video description below, and I will leave a little video just up in here with a little more information about my patronage. That's that. Until the next time, my friends, look after yourselves. Here's to your good health. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.